We are live from Hooters on Wolf Road in Colony, guys. We're in Colony,
Oh, a little
Colony,
accent
New York.
there. Hello,
Yes,
cheerio,
a little trivia for you. I'm not sure if it's still true, but as within like 2 years ago, Colony is the largest township in the United States of America.
Is that true?
It was 2 years ago, so I'm assuming there hasn't been. I don't think the town of Mayberry has just like juiced up on steroids and gotten bigger than us. But at one point, at least I believe it's still true. I just, you know me, I'm very focused on accuracy, especially when I'm peeing in the toilet. Because if you miss, you never hear the end of it. And I live alone.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky.
And with the lights off in the bathroom, usually while you're drunk. We're live at Hooters. $3 Bud Light specials. You've got some kind of saucy little IPA you're drinking over there. Wandering Haze, $5 pints, which means Goz has a ride home tonight, apparently. And, of course, all the fun tomfoolery and good stuff that we do here at Hooters. We're getting ready for night 2 of the Sweet 16. Very excited. Very, very excited. Not as sweet as I would have liked it, as I did not do as well as I would have liked. But I thought maybe we would start today's show with a beverage. Just a little quick social. I'm still sober, so I can do it. Ice cold, my friends. Ice, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Last night, brackets exploding across the entire world. So there's one number 1 seed left. There's one seed left. Could lose that tonight. Really hoping we lose that one tonight. Providence versus Kansas. But last night, the ass whoopings, they were plentiful.
Yeah, let's start with Arizona, Houston. For those who might have fallen asleep early or fell asleep standing up on their couch like this.
Was that you?
Yeah, it was me. Unbelievable.
You fell asleep standing up? You
like
went full wooden Indian?
No. I'm up on the couch like this. Right, like ready to go. Not going to miss it. Then I put my hand like this, just kind of leaning. Then I hear Scott Van Pelt. I'm like, he's not on CBS. What happened? I looked down at my phone. Everything's been hit. I must have hit something. I missed the end of the game.
You were sitting up. You weren't like standing up.
No, sitting up. Did I say standing up?
Yeah.
No.
Well, because
it's in these IPAs.
Complete Wandering Haze. Complete side note, Capital Region radio legend, the coach from back in my Picks 106 days, he would go full wooden Indian behind the bar over at Buddy Bucks. He would fall asleep like this.
No way.
Standing up. And if you don't know the wooden Indian joke, and it's probably not even appropriate anymore, but they used to be in front of like cigar shops. They were decorative indigenous people, wooden indigenous people. And he would fall asleep like that. And the one time right after somebody put a remote starter in his truck, his SUV, he woke up, fired the starter. He had left it in gear. It was a standard. The whole place shakes because it lurched forward and hit the wall.
No.
Didn't do any damage to the building. But that was, yeah. So like when you said you fell asleep awake, I was like, coach. Missed the coach. I mean, people who really know Capital Region Radio right now are sitting there going, and I know because I'm the coach. Like that was the guy. He was the best guy. So you got me all excited, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
you lied.
no, I did.
You lied.
But I saw Arizona say, hey.
Remember me? Yes, of course. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, Analia. I was going to say, you just said you're Kennedy. I'm like, no, Kennedy's over there.
Kennedy's there.
So Analia is here. She's ready. She's going to bring you $3 Bud Lights. She's going to bring you $5 Wandering Hazes, great food, and that amazing smile. That's all waiting for you at Hooters right here. Right. Tip well, please, because she seems to like us, which means you guys did last time.
Houston, our team. Calvin Sampson, not really our team, but our coach.
No, I was torn last night because I like Houston. I like the way they play. I really wanted to take them deeper into the tournament, but I picked Arizona to win the whole damn thing. My strategy, which has paid off in the past, I look for the 1 seed that I don't hear everyone else talking about. So even though they were number 1 overall, right?
Number 2 overall.
Number 2,
Gonzaga. Yep.
I was like, I don't hear anybody talking about Arizona. I took Arizona. Next thing I know, Coach Manas is like, I got Arizona winning. Like everybody's saying, but I picked Arizona, and as I look back afterwards, I'm like, God, Houston's so freaking good. And I didn't even watch a lot of college hoops. So I was torn last night, but obviously I would have preferred Arizona got it done.
Houston played better defense. Houston was more physical. And it's really the storyline of both 1-seeded games is the physical play, the officiating, but not so much in this Houston game we'll focus on first. Houston, think about this program, right? Last year, they go to the Final Four. season previous, we're talking 2019 because of COVID in 2020. If your Michigan Wolverines don't hit a buzzer beater and one of the best shots probably the last 10 years, Houston might be a Final Four team that season. Calvin Sampson, Albany fans might remember him. He was the coach of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Way back in 2003, when that Oklahoma team was favored against Syracuse with Hollis Price and Carmelo stole the show in Albany. That's how long Sampson's been around. If he doesn't get busted with violations at Indiana and everything else, we might be talking about Sampson, one of the best coaches. But that line smelled, right? We talked about this a little bit on Tuesday, that all of a sudden when Arizona was like a point and a half favorite, you're like, something's not right about this game.
Where's the poop?
And
where is it?
When you get to the second weekend, you get to the Sweet 16.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston got I don't smell it yet.
No one's ever done that before.
No,
no one's ever used that from that movie. Houston, we have a problem for sports.
Take that, huh?
I'm gonna drink to that right there. That's a good thing.
I was gonna think about cheering you, but I'm not gonna after that. Houston,
you're not worthy of my cheers.
Elite Eight, Arizona, not physical enough. Their first-year head coach, Tommy Lloyd, former Gonzaga assistant, didn't do enough in the game.
Didn't do enough.
That's it. Houston, better team, outcoached him, wall to wall, wire to wire, finish to finish. Cougars were better.
Houston could win it all, you think?
Funny you mention that. Funny you say that. All right, so I got to get your advice on this one, right? Because let's say you use DraftKings, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you hop on DraftKings right now, the app, shout out to DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Houston is the favorite to win the national championship.
The 5 seed.
The 5 seed. But I asked you this question. Is that because of the layout, how good they are, or because they're already in the Elite Eight and Kansas isn't in it yet? Like, you know, all these other teams tonight, Carolina, UCLA, Kansas, Providence, we could run through the rest. They're not advanced yet. So is that why the odds are in favor, Hunger Games style, of Houston?
Remember, odds are set not on who the best or worst team is. Odds are set on how do I get you to bet the most, right? So how many people like myself got their bracket annihilated last night by Houston? So how many of those people looked up and went, oh, Houston's probably going to win it all now? So it could be that. I want to point this out. Sharon, Sergeant Carter, from our old job, I miss beating you in the bracket. I don't miss that, Sharon. I don't. I miss you. I love you, Sharon. I don't miss getting my ass kicked by the head of human resources office manager. What? She had like 75. Like, you had a different hat on. You're like, hey, I need somebody to change the light bulb. She's like, all right, put that hat on. She goes, hey, guys, grab my butt in the studio. All right, human resources. One of her hats was beat Levack's ass in the bracket challenge. So,
happy birthday, Sharon, on October 28th. Happy birthday.
How do you remember that?
That's my birthday.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't know your own name half the time. No, it's a Sharon. Talking about Capital Region Radio Legends. She's one you don't know, but you should have. She got a lot of things done for all of us. So, including kicking my ass in the tournament.
Well, I wish Sharon would have been a part of the Godzilla Media Tournament Challenge. She probably would have been maybe at the top spot this year. Next year, you can hop in on a chair and show off what we're looking at. To sum it up,
I'm just gonna look at some of the names while you do this that I think could be Sharon in disguise. I'm gonna do that.
Of the top. Quick math here. 12 best brackets on Godzilla Media. Top 12. 7.
Ban ice shanties could be. You never know. She's very creative. Very creative.
7 have lost the opportunity to win, and 8 have lost their champions. So that's what we're left with now. The top 12, only 4 have their champions left. Right now, the standings look like this. Jay Rocco at the top, number 1 spot at Gonzaga. Big KD 44 has Duke winning it all. Our pal Willie Fish also tied for second, Gonzaga. My dad, Mr. Goz, the Academy Award winner. Soon.
My dad has not ever played against me in a bracket challenge. Not since, like, I don't know, like 92, 93.
It's terrible.
My
dad's in fourth place.
He's very cold.
He's got UCLA. Jared Lozier, 5th place. That's, oh my God, Levack. That's terrible. Hey, there he is.
Ryan McCarthy in the house.
Ryan McCarthy's in the mix somewhere. Ryan the Lion's in there somewhere, but he lost his champion as well. Yeah. So we've got a few names still left out there. Jared Lozier can win. Matt Minks can win. Our guy Stephen Moss. There's some names left. I know, because he's no longer with us.
He's always in my heart. He's always in my heart. All right. So the bracket challenge still going, but like not anywhere near what it was. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those situations where you have 1 seed left. Last night, my heart broke. Michigan did great. To get to Villanova, Michigan did great. They lose 63-55. The 11 seed is gone. The 2 advances. I don't think there's much more to say about it. They are who we thought they were. Villanova, not Michigan. Michigan outperformed what they should have done this year. They had a puncher's chance.
Do you feel like Villanova? That's the Juwan Howard, very good. Where are the drums? Is this the one with the drums?
No, that's the
on the air still.
That's the Empire. This is the Empire sound. I think this is what you want.
There you go. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Go crazy.
Juwan Howard and that Michigan team, they played about as good as they could play. Villanova, Jay Wright, better roster, better program, national championships, 2 of them in the last 7 years. And I feel for Jay Wright because even though he's a Hall of Famer, even though he's won, I kind of want them out of Philly because Philly has so many other things they're focused on. Like it's more of a professional
being
sports
horrible
town.
human beings, eating horse poop. Throwing snowballs at Santa Claus.
I was waiting for the Santa one, right?
And what else does Philadelphia
Producing
do?
Tom Gurka. No, I'm just kidding, Gurka. I love you, man.
Is he still around? Does he exist?
I don't know, Gurka. Where have you been, man?
I'm not asking him to come out. I just want to make sure he's alive. That's all.
I'm asking him to come out. You see this Gurka
out of the closet.
Come out. Jay Wright, just a better program. That's it.
Yeah,
like the better players, that other stuff. And this goes back to a point I think you and I might have mentioned in our original March Madness preview. You look at Villanova in a bracket every year, and you're like, when will they lose?
Yeah.
There was a late 2000s, like the 2007-8 years, before Scotty Reynolds hit that buzzer beater against Pitt in 08, 09. You looked at him and said, Villanova's a choker. Villanova doesn't get it done. And then all of a sudden after that, the complete program has changed, and they continue to win in March.
Yeah, very, very, very impressive. I'm going to ask you this on each game, right? So you never actually answered. Can Houston win it all? In your opinion. In your humble opinion.
No.
Okay. Can Villanova win it all?
Yes.
All right, let's move on to this one. Arkansas, 4, just manhandles Gonzaga. And there'll be some talk about, some favorable foul calls and, whatever. But 74-68, Arkansas takes out Gonzaga.
Turn on in a new bug, Sam Pittman.
And Musselman was hysterical.
It's great.
Like I want to see them win it all just to see him. If that's his reaction taking down Gonzaga, what happens when he actually cuts down the nets?
You know who he reminds me of? A little local connection here. Hopefully he's watching. I know he enjoys our show. Skidmore's Joe Burke. I think there's a little connection between Coach Burke and Coach Musselman. Madman on the sidelines, maybe a little shorter than most of his players. I think Coach Musselman's like, what? That's not a shot at Coach Burke.
A lot of coaches who are taller than players in basketball.
I think Musselman's like 5'8", 140. Coach Burke would take him in a fight. But Musselman is a madman on the sidelines. And like you already said, officiating, physical play, Arkansas beat up Gonzaga. Holmgren got his 5th foul in a bad spot. I don't even want to get into stupid. I think it was Burt on Twitter that said, guys, they should wave off the foul out rule. Stop it. Stop it.
Can't strategy, too.
I can't stand that take.
Brian Mariano, is Gonzaga elite? He's going to hang up and listen. They're serious. Like there's Gonzaga went from everyone's favorite Cinderella to an absolute national power. Disappointment?
Oh, Levack, I'm going right to Twitter with this one. I'm going to hot take you. It's going to feel like Stu Gotts just sat next to you for this next one. I am serious when I have this take. Gonzaga is the biggest choke artist, the chokers in sports in the last 30 years.
Overrated?
Yes, all of it.
Can you choke and be overrated? I think chokers are appropriately rated and then choke, right? Now what? Now he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it as he's changing it, what he's typing. I don't know. It's the coolest thing about Gonzaga is like to see a guy like Timmy out there, and it's like that guy is still in college, but he looks like he has been like teaching night school for the last 15 years and has just had enough of these people that go to that class. How many GED courses do I have to teach before I get to teach English modern lit at during the daylight hours? He looks like somebody. There's Justin Morris.
Hey, there he is.
There's the
bowl champ right there.
Yep,
Look at him.
Levack and bowl champ, Justin Morris. There he is.
I can't pick NCAA brackets worth anything.
No one can this year. You're all right. You're all right. No one can.
Wait till January next year when the Orange Bowl hits, the Sugar Bowl, everything else.
Goz is paying for your happy hour. You're all set. You're good.
Yes,
Goz is paying for everything. Just Goz, put your card
Usually
out.
I
now.
would say no.
Take care of him.
I think Ricky's actually. Yeah.
Goz, do it. You do it.
He's
Don't let anybody else do it. You should do it.
Back to the Gonzaga thing. Look at that. Like, okay. the Bills are going to be the first one that hop into people's minds, right? Is the Bills is the biggest chokers. But the Bills.
Columbus Lions, too.
Nice. But the Bills got to the Super Bowl. And somebody could go back and look how many times Buffalo was actually favored in those games in the Super Bowl. You have the Dallas Cowboy teams that are stacked. The Washington football team is in that mix as well. You had opportunities.
Minnesota Vikings, big chokers back in the day.
Sure, like Minnesota's, if we did an all-time
Baltimore,
list.
oh, no, they're just never good.
Hurtful. Minnesota might be on there because of the Gary Anderson stuff and the Minnesota Miracle. But Gonzaga, every single year, is in the mix. It was Chris G on Twitter last night sent this to me. Can they really be chokers if they're always good in the regular season?
28-3, Atlanta.
Chris G, 23?
28-3.
Oh, yeah, Atlanta's definitely in it.
Yep.
But Gonzaga, the expectation is...
Go ahead, do it. 2004 New York Yankees.
I wouldn't say the Yankees are an all-time franchise choker,
but that is, like, in 04, the international sign for choking was the pinstripes. Because that had never happened before.
Isolated team, one season, one moment.
One not shining moment.
Well, 04 Yankees is tough to argue against, but I would say over the course of like the last 30 years, we'll say since like 92, Gonzaga's the one. And like you mentioned earlier, right? Like they're the Cinderellas or the darlings. In the late 90s, they turned from Cinderella and build into a dynasty of the WCC. But there is no way ever. This is like a rule for my wagering forever on. I'm never wagered on Gonzaga again, and I will never, ever, ever have them as my national champion.
You're a lion sack.
Never.
I'll remember that. All right, Arkansas, can they win it all? Pig Suey, baby.
No.
Well, I've got them in a pool, a Sweet 16 pool, and I really hope you're wrong, or at least they keep it within the spread. That's part of the pool's rules. All right, now the game that look, I said fade Duke. That has not worked. If you have been doing that, I'm sorry, and Godzilla Media will give you some of the money you lost back. Texas Tech, potentially the best defense in college basketball this year, if you really think about what they've done to teams. Give up 78 points to Duke. The Dukies, another 2, advance. And this is another game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Duke doesn't look like they do anything better than anyone else. It's not like, oh, they're the best three-point shooter or zone D or this or press or whatever. It's just it gets to like 8 minutes left in the game, and they go, oh, shit, there's 5 of us. We're better than everyone else in the country. Let's just play better basketball than everyone else real quick. Out-athlete, out-play, and just do crazy things. Let's hit shots from the out in the bathroom.
That's exactly what happened, especially the last 5 minutes of the game. This was of all the games that have been played so far in March Madness, this was my favorite game of the tournament. From start to finish, from the opening tip-off to the finish,
out of the tournament,
I had Texas Tech. And even throughout this entire game, I'm like, Texas Tech's going to beat them. Texas Tech's going to beat them. They come out of the gates, on a 10-2 run. You're like, Duke can't handle it. Duke can't shoot. They're not going to get back in the game. Everything, like you just said. Better athletes, better skill guys. Coach K had them prepared. The whole storyline of whether or not it's going to happen, people are rooting against Coach K because it's Duke. Yeah, but Duke took over. And Coach K showed why he's arguably the greatest college basketball coach of all time. Said, let me put my athletes in position to make plays. I don't want my career to end like this. And I'm kicking myself because I should have known better look, Duke with all the storylines and everything around him, they should have been able to beat Texas Tech in that spot. I will say this, and I think you feel the same way. If they played each other 10 times, this is one of these classic 5-5. Like those teams were super even throughout that entire game. I loved that game. I wish Texas Tech would have won. I had it in my bracket, but that was a great college basketball game last night.
The downside of 2 of these games last night, even though Arizona did not play up to potential, Texas Tech, Duke, Houston, Arizona would be amazing Final Four games. They'd be amazing Final Four games. Downside is they happen in Sweet 16. Also downside for me because I picked them both wrong. Obviously, Duke can win it all.
Yes.
Obviously, Duke can win it all.
Sure.
I don't even have to ask you that one. Like that's, they have all the talent in the world. I keep waiting for them to crumble. I will say again, I keep waiting for that team that looks and goes, hey, 6 minutes left. They're going to start playing some crazy basketball. Let's go. Don't back down. Let's go. And it hasn't happened yet.
It's strange.
Can it happen next? Who knows?
It's strange evaluating this year's Duke team, and I know they're in the Elite Eight, obviously, but if you compare them to Duke teams of the past, it still feels like they're not hyped up or better than the Zion, RJ Barrett team, right? The Cam Reddish team where they had all those guys. They don't seem like they're on that level.
True superstar power.
Right. And they don't look like they're as good as Duke teams like Kyrie. That's like 10 years ago, but that was a really good Duke team. It feels more like that Duke team that beat Wisconsin in the championship, And that was the year of Kentucky with Karl Anthony Towns that was undefeated, that lost to Frank the Tank Kaminsky and everybody else. It feels more like that team than these powerhouse Duke teams we've seen in the last 15 years.
I'm very curious to see how Arkansas plays against Duke. I'm very, very curious because they play like they have a chip on their shoulder. Be very, very intriguing to see how that goes. All right, so there it is. We are now caught up. You now know how crappy your bracket is. In case you didn't already know that your bracket exploded, those of you hold on to Kansas like friggin', that cat, hang in there, that little kid. I'm hoping they lose tonight because I want no ones left.
We are going to definitely get to the Kansas preview, the St. Peter's preview against Purdue, all that stuff. But before we get there, we got some more to talk about, especially Jared Lozier. I mean, you mentioned Duke. Jared has a chance to win the bracket. So think about this. If you're looking for somebody for advice to save you cash, to have good judgment, Jared Lozier is your guy at Northeastern Insurance. He's going to shop the market for you to get you that right quote, your home, your small business, your car insurance. You might not even know monthly what you're actually paying and how much you could be saving. All it takes is one email, one text message, one phone call. Pause the video if you want right after I give you the number, or watch our ticker below on our visual side to get his number, 518-956-3753. 518-956-3753, or email him, jaredl@nemail.com. Jared should be here. He was here last week. We know him well. We want to continue to give him a lot of love and appreciation. If you enjoy the podcast, you enjoy our show, that's it. One email, one text. Hey, Jared, can you give me a price on this? We'll give you a quote for free. Save cash with Jared Lozier at Northeastern Insurance, 518-956-3753. And if Duke wins the national championship, Jared might win the Godzilla Media Bracket Challenge.
To Chris on Instagram, wait, the boys are back together, but not on the radio anymore? I don't even listen to the radio anymore. And he got all excited. So hopefully he's on his way over to Hooters.
Chris, where you been, man?
Yeah.
This thing on?
So
What the hell?
happens a lot. Happens a lot with that. My two favorite things is like I can be wearing the Empire Championship ring and talk about doing a podcast with Goz. People are like, oh, when did the Empire come back? Well, we just won a championship. It'll be April 23rd. Single game tickets on sale now. 518-714-2200. When do you still hang out with Goz? Yeah. Every Tuesday, and then usually Friday or Saturday. Yeah, we do a show still. Yeah, really, that's crazy. Can't believe it. No, it happens.
For all those other people, Lincoln's been shot.
Yeah.
What else is out there? The internet's a thing.
We walked on the moon. It happened.
Yeah.
Earth is not flat. I love our guy Tom Gross, by the way, because he's like he knows what questions he wants for Q&A at the end of the day, and he gets them in early. You can do that. Don't be afraid to submit your Q&A to end the day early. Let's go ahead and give Goz a chance to rant. Let him climb up on his Tom Brady soapbox. Again, live at Hooters, $3 Bud Light specials, $5 Wandering Haze pints, and amazing food, fabulous, beautiful women, cool people, lots of hoops, lots of TVs. Tom Brady going to Miami, baby.
I don't like this. I don't
Is
like
it real.
Come on.
I feel like Tom Brady has a team that sits in a room and goes, well, we've noticed that more people are talking about Aaron Rodgers than Thomas Brady. Oh, that can't happen. All right, let's come out of retirement. Oh, I like it. We've noticed Tua's coming up a lot right now. Tua Tagovailoa. We don't. What? Oh, really? Well, let's start a rumor. I'm taking his job. Ha ha.
Baker Mayfield needs a spot, huh?
Right.
Back up in Tampa.
Deshaun Watson's doing a press conference. I'll tell you what. I'm going to get traded. Ha ha.
Here's why I'm not happy about the Brady stuff, because this offseason in particular, nothing else, 2020, 2050, there's nothing like this offseason in the history of the NFL that has had this active trade, free agency, star players moving.
It's pretty drunk. It's a drunk free agency. It's a drunk offseason.
Yeah. What I've learned is that when there is smoke, there's fire in March of 2022.
And if you happen to run into fire, make sure you check out Techie's Fire and Water Restoration. We're your best way back to normal. Check us online, tefirewater.com. You might be watching on the Facebook page of Techie's right now.
So this started because there was a story back in the Brian Flores lawsuit that there was a meeting with him and a big-time NFL quarterback in Miami who was then a free agent. Everyone's like, you mean it's Tom Brady, right? Like we all kind of like it's either him or Watson. It's not Watson, it's Brady. We all piece it together. So now Brady was going to be the player that went to Miami, and now that rumor gets back out there that he might go again. And the only reason I'm even taking this for a potential possibility of it happening is because a lot of the people who were first on the Brady story. And I'm not talking about Schefter. I'm talking about more like local Boston and New England writers who knew that Brady was going to come back, are now reporting that it is very much an interest in both parties, like Tampa and Miami, which that report seems hard for me to believe. Why the hell would Tampa trade Tom Brady? You're a Raider fan. You've watched an active off season for your team. I don't care if you're a Raider fan, a Buck fan, Jet Bill. I think it's universal for this statement if you're an NFL team. You make a trade for two reasons. One, to make your team better now, or two, to make your team better in the future. That's pretty much a trade. Now or in the future.
Uh-huh.
You can't tell me that if the Buccaneers traded Tom Brady, they'd get better in the future or now. Because the future is you have Tom Brady as long as he wants to play, and now is Tom Brady. So the trade makes zero sense for Tampa, even if it involves Tua or draft picks or money. It makes no sense to ever
what
trade
draft
Tom
picks do
Brady.
they have left? Those are all in Kansas City now. All right, here's the deal, right? Is there a bigger ego that would love this kind of move in the world than Tom Brady? I don't think so. I don't.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers likes to talk about it, but when he had a chance to do something, he went right back home. I don't think Brady would do it simply because it's one thing to go win a Super Bowl in Tampa. It's a whole nother thing to play the Patriots twice, take the division away from him, and potentially win a Super Bowl. Does he hate Belichick that much? Because he still loves Kraft. He allegedly still loves Patriot fans. Does he hate Belichick enough to go to the Super Bowl in his division? Because that's the only reason Brady would do anything is to go win another Super Bowl. Because the wide receiver core has got to be sexy. You got to be excited about that. I mean, he's got the arm to get the ball down the field. And with Waddle and Hill, there's going to be people waiting for that ball when it gets down there.
I don't like my answer to that question you're going to ask, and which you already did, and it's yes.
He hates Belichick that much.
I feel like he's got to find a reason to come back, right? He had the unfinished business quote, which everyone looked at and said, that makes zero sense, dude. You finished every business you need. Like, you're good. You can step away. But the other part of this is why it makes me wonder about your theory there. If he hates Belichick that much, he wants to beat him twice. Two things, actually, I added this. One, the beatdown that was supposed to be Tampa against New England didn't happen because of weather. I'll make an excuse for a Buck fan. Or that New England played a great game. It didn't happen where Brady dominated Belichick. Second part is Gronk. Like, if Brady was definitely coming back to Tampa, why isn't Gronk said he's coming back? Does Gronk want to play in Buffalo? Did Gronk get a call from Brady and said, hey, man, I actually might go to Miami. Hold off on signing anything. That part of the Gronk situation is scaring me as a Buccaneers
What about Edelman?
fan.
Edelman's down there working out.
The Edelman video, right,
Yeah.
where he like photoshopped himself and running all the routes. Yeah, that doesn't make me feel good either.
Yeah, I don't know. I have trouble believing he can go to Miami and not burn every bridge in New England. Like, Kraft loves him. He loves Kraft, allegedly. The fans love him. He loves the fans, allegedly. Like a Patriots fan can forgive him and get behind him for what he's done in Tampa. I don't think they can do it if he shows up in the town wearing a Dolphin helmet. I don't think they can do it.
Let's play this game.
Parcheesi? I love Parcheesi.
Do you think it makes more sense, less sense, or no effect at all that when the Dolphins made the move for Tyreek Hill signs the biggest contract in wide receiver history, the Dolphins give up a bunch of picks, that they did that trade for Tua, Brady, or it didn't matter who was there, they just did the trade? I think you kind of understand where I got switch up there.
I think when you've got the new head coach who likes to do crazy things, you're going to run the ball a lot. You now have two players that can blow the top off of defense. You kept them away from the Jets. Maybe those kind of things. What do you give up to get Brady? Like Arian said it was going to take 3, 4, 5 number ones. But you don't have that anymore. I don't know. I think this is one of those ones that if it happens, because again, it is that kind of offseason for the NFL. Like, it's a 12-4 loco kind of offseason. If you don't get that, please go look it up.
I thought you just meant 4 loco the drink.
Yeah,
off season.
12-4 locos.
Oh yeah,
12-4 locos.
Okay, yeah.
I just can't see it. I can't. It's just one of those things where you go, hey, this would be really cool if I won in Miami. And then you really think about what's going to happen if you do. It's like you get divorced, you're mad at the ex. I'm gonna sleep with her best friend. Okay, but that's once you do that, the kids are mad, the families are mad. You know what I mean? Like you better be ready to salt the earth and never let anything grow there again. You know, because if you go win one in Miami, New England fan is gonna everybody sitting behind Duncan with a Sam Adams and a Ma bread. All good, thank you.
I think our visual side saw that, Levack. When you were telling that story about sleeping with the ex, that nice lady behind you, went, what are they talking about back there?
Oh, what's she doing? You're never going back again.
No.
It's never happening again. I thought you were saying, Kennedy came through, and I was like, what's up, girl? How you doing?
As a Buccaneer fan, I feel confident that Brady's going to stay, and this is just rumors and everything else, and to what the ego stuff. However, to the question I was wondering about Tyreek Hill's move, it does make more sense. Right. It does make more sense if they're going for Brady. The collateral, the move that they're going to be able to make him come over. They might say, oh, he's 45. That's not enough for us to give up because of age. No, it's Tom Brady. Like, no,
right.
It makes more sense you do the deal for Tyreek Hill if Brady's coming, not Tua. But
when has Miami ever made sense? And that's
right.
Like there are people who like I listened to a little of the who the hell was it? He was supposed to join us on the show this year, but he got busy. Solomon Wilcots.
Yes.
He's like, I watched college and Tua can throw deep. Yeah, I've watched the pros, and no, he can't. Now, will it be different this year when you got that guy? But I mean, like, who's underneath now? Because Waddle is super fast. Like when he's healthy, people forget how fast that dude is because he hasn't been like 100% healthy yet. He's healthy now. Like Tyreek Hill said, the first thing he wants to do is race him because he wants to be the fastest guy on the team. They're the same guy. They're the same receiver.
Who would be more pissed if Brady was a Dolphin? Bills fans or Jets fans?
Both. But, well, I think Jets fan because the Jets are doing good things, right? They're on their way. You can see a trajectory. It's a ways off, but you can see it. Bills fan is like, dude, we're better than them even with Brady. Now, Brady and Miami beat Buffalo, a whole nother conversation. But the Jets are probably sitting there going, we legitimately had a shot at being the third team in this division. Now we're worst again. Like this is bullcrap.
It's Jets fans, yes, because Bills fans does the old rock gif of bring it. All right, Brady, we're ready now.
Right.
Like we know we got our butts kicked before. We're ready for you now. Jet fans, come on. Seriously? No.
Now, the Bills lose to them, whole nother conversation. But Bills do what they should do against that team, not a problem. If there's a defense that, if healthy, is suited to stop that kind of speed at wide receiver, it's in Buffalo. It's Buffalo. But I don't know. I don't think he's going to Miami. I don't think he's going anywhere. Because if you're Tampa, you should be good to go. Well, and by the way, you leave right now, watch Leonard Fournette come kick your ass. Or at least try, because Leonard Fournette was like, peace out, Tampa, love you. Tommy's back. I will sign another deal.
I love Tampa. I'm going to put it on Instagram and social media. That's right.
I can't wait to throw a trophy from a boat to a boat. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait. Levack and Goz, we're live here at Hooters. $3 Bud Light pints, $5 Wandering Haze pints. Amazing food, great girls, great people, great. And speaking of great, great, the Integrative Sleep Center in Boston Spas with my good friend Dr. Fred Dreher.
Yes,
love that guy so much. I had Dr. Dreher is actually doing my tooth replacement.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, because I was having some issues with other places, and Doc's like, just let me take care of it. I'm gonna have to redo your mouthpiece for your sleep apnea once it's done anyway. So just let me make sure everything's right. So I'm like, hell, the guy I trust to get me in better health and to sleep better wants to replace my tooth. I probably should have went there from the freaking beginning.
And make it gold.
Right. No, he was talking about blue and orange for the Empire.
All right. Okay.
Big Empire fan, Doctor. That's for sure. But no, he's just a great person, great group over there. Lori Ann, Amanda, everybody. And couldn't be more grateful for what they've done for me. What they did for me is it saved my life. I had severe sleep apnea. I was having 70 episodes an evening. So if you added up how many times I stopped breathing, like the full length, it was over 12 minutes an hour. I'm down to well under 3 minutes an hour now. It's still not like perfect, but it's so much better, and I feel the difference. And I don't have the mask and everything. I have a mouthpiece that keeps my airway open. Simple, easy. It took me like a week to get used to it at most, and now I can't sleep without it. And, well, I couldn't sleep without it before, if we're being perfectly honest, but now it's like I get that real sleep. I feel better. So if you have sleep apnea, if you're snoring, if you just want to see, go to integrativesleepcenter.com, a little questionnaire, and see how much you need to check out. My cousin's gone there now. A bunch of my friends have gone there. It's changing people's lives. Change yours, too. Integrative Sleep Center in Boston Spa. 518-885-6185. Help me sleep better. They'll help you sleep better, too. Goz? Kyrie gets to play. How excited are you?
By God, that's Kyrie Irving's music. He's back.
The circus is in town.
There was a stat that Kyrie, over his last 3 games, had averaged over 44 points a game while shooting 60% from the field.
His points suck at home this year, though. Like the splits, home and road, night and day for Kyrie Irving this year.
Not scoring a lot, but also not missing a lot, which is a weird riddle, right?
Well, you missed a lot of games.
So
How did
Kyrie,
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take?
hey, we're Michael Scott. Well, congrats, I remember that. Yeah, that's right. Kyrie is back because of this change involving the politics, and the New York City mayor announcing the mandate for unvaccinated athletes and performers has been lifted, clearing the way for unvaccinated New York Yankee players, New York Mets players, and, of course, the guy who's been the headline for this, Kyrie Irving. There's a lot to this story. I feel like I kind of want to toss it to you first, Levack, because
there's not much to this story. Let me just go ahead and change the banner right now. Everybody, thanks, Uncle Steve. Thanks, Steve Cohen. Thank you. You got it done, Steve. Mayor Eric Adams. Hey, guy was a cop, all this other stuff. Great. Thank you for your service. You did good. What a slime ball. when he was getting elected, he made it sound like one of the first things he was going to do was overturn this rule and give, like, if you kept Kyrie out because it's an indoor game versus an outdoor game, whatever, we could have a conversation. If you made it so anyone unvaccinated couldn't work in New York State in an indoor environment, we could have a conversation. But it was like a visiting player does not have to be vaccinated, but a residential player has to be. I'm like, this is bullcrap all the way through. But he got elected based on people thinking he was going to overturn this thing right away. That was one of the big reasons people voted for him. Never overturned it. Then he said, I'm not going to overturn it now. I'm going to follow the science. I'm going to whatever. All of a sudden, $1.5 million gets donated into one of his super PACs that helped get him elected last year, and we overturn it. That's crazy. Via a report from Sally Goldenberg of Politico, Steve Cohen, Uncle Steve, donated $1.5 million to a political action committee PAC backing Adams in last year's Democratic primary. Cohen's donation was previously reported, but it seems especially relevant in light of Wednesday's developments, with several users seeming to connect the dots on social media. Thanks, Uncle Steve.
Ugh.
Money talks, BS walks. Uncle Steve, if the dude is willing to pay a luxury tax that no one's ever seen before, the other owners are afraid of him and have to make new rules. The Cohen tax. You think he ain't gonna drop 1.5 to get his boys on the field? Like who's vaccinated, who's not? Who cares?
Gross, man.
Make it rain.
The whole thing is gross, right? Like, you wonder
you
if...
say gross. I say thanks, Uncle Steve. I don't know who's vaccinated on the Yankees anymore, and I don't care.
Okay. That second part is true for me. Just I don't want to find out people's health decisions. I feel like that whole thing is only going to toss people in a direction of hate or love or vice versa. There's no right answer for that. But I wonder if this mayor knew from the day he was elected, like, you are getting this for free. I have something that I can do that I believe people are willing to help me out for.
Help me help you.
Let's push it to right up until opening day.
Oh, he's pushing it all right.
Opening day's Thursday. So let's wait as far as we can. The NBA playoffs are coming up. Let's wait as long as we can. We'll cash out at $1.5 million. Thank you very much. That's how you're a politician. You're welcome. Like, it's so dirty, the whole thing.
This is how I imagine it going down, right? So Adams is sitting there going, I don't know what's going to happen if I do this. All of a sudden, ba-ding, ba-ding. hey, Easy, what's up, man? Yeah, it's the dude running your political action campaign. Oh, hey, man, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and just let everybody play. No, I don't know, man. I don't know. 1.5 from Uncle Steve if you let everybody play, and there's probably another 1.5 on the way, closer to when you need to run again. And we got you in, so yeah, you got to do this. Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. The science says. I love that. Like, you're disgusted. Like, I know you're a poli-sci major.
Yeah.
You're a dual major. That's your poli-sci was one of your things. Political science, for those of you who don't understand, briefs. But it's who didn't know it's money? And these packs are the dirtiest thing of all, because if I use my own money, I have to say, hey, I'm Jeff Levack and I support this message, or I have to like stamp it and it's obvious I'm on. But now with a pack, it's different rules, and I didn't necessarily pay for it. Someone who's politically aligned with my beliefs paid for it. I can't really speak to what they're doing. In other words, we've laundered money.
So yeah, I guess for me, it's less of the pearl clutching of, oh no, how could they?
I got the vapors.
The unvaccinated are out again. No, it's not so much about that. People are starting looking around, right? It's less about that and more about we all saw it coming, and the health concerns of this were ignored for the money. And maybe, guys, welcome to America. Welcome to politics. What did they teach you at Hobart?
Well, I was going to say,
class,
really?
Right? What was going on there?
Welcome to Hobart University, where we don't let the women folk near the men folk. Not allowed.
I guess there's
we throw fish at Syracuse when they come here.
Like, when you have a fight, whatever it is, whether it be about politics, religion, sports teams, at the end, sometimes in the end of arguments or fights, you might have a resolution. Hey, that's my team. I'm going to root for this. We disagree. Move on. I feel like at the end of this, there's validation for some people who stuck their ground and said, I'm not going to get vaccinated, so they feel like they're validated by it.
Good for them.
But there's also another side of it where it's, let's say you're a regular blue-collar New York City employee, and there's rumors out there that some were let go in February.
Yeah.
So
no, it's bullshit.
Right?
It
now
is.
it's late March.
It
It's like, oh, hang on.
It is.
The basketball and baseball guys didn't have to get vaccinated, but they get to play.
Oh, no, it's horrible.
That's what pisses me off a little bit, too.
And they should sue. They should sue. They should do whatever they can. They should do whatever they can. And not even the work, not even your boss, because, look, they're playing the hand they're dealt. Yeah, sue the city. Sue them. Eric Adams, try to get some of that 1.5 for yourself. I think you should. I don't know if you have any grounds to actually get it done, but go for it.
And you know what? Maybe Adams knew that was coming, and that's why he took the money. Like, eventually I'm going to move my policy, and whether it's because of the science or whatever, hey, the lawsuit's coming. I feel like I may or may not have gone to law school. I'm not going to win this one, so let's get some money just in case we end up having to pay some people off.
And not to mention, like, look, there's more. That money isn't as dirty as the next money, because you know what this means? There's more money coming. It'll be closer to when Adams runs again, but this pack will continue to get fed because that's part of the deal. There's no way the original 1.5 is the only part of this deal. 1.5 is not enough to change the policy. I'm sorry. As much as $1 million does not buy what it used to.
Not in New York City.
I tell you what. But like it's just it's garbage. I'm a little curious though, as you over here on your soapbox, on your high horse. Is any of this because you thought maybe, just maybe, your Orioles will be able to steal a couple wins in New York?
Like I said, the policy should be reconsidered, at least during the Baltimore games. We have to be concerned about the athletes of Maryland. All right, those are some concerns.
It's not our fault that there appears to be a law in Baltimore that you're not allowed to play unless you're untalented.
I'd like to run for some type of position in Baltimore.
I wouldn't run anywhere. I'm fat. No, I think it's definitely dirty, and I do feel bad for the real workers. But as a baseball fan, thank God. And as a basketball fan, as much as I don't like the Nets, and I really don't care for Kyrie Irving. I used to hate him. Now I don't really care. I want to see him play. They're fun when he plays. And if anything, grab your app, Nets to win it all, because he is highly rested. Talk about figuring out workload. Everything. Kyrie's 100% ready to go.
Active right now. There's no athlete I root against more than Kyrie Irving, just because of the nonsense. Yeah, I think it really is, because Syracuse sports has not been as good as I'd hoped. The Orioles have not been as good. There's not a lot of things that draw emotion out of me like they used to, like the Kyrie thing did with not even just the vaccination stuff, but like the social media stuff. The world is flat and like the whole thing. I think Kyrie wants to be he's very Aaron Rodgers like, and Aaron Rodgers has entered this conversation
I hate
too,
Aaron Rodgers
right?
more.
Like those guys are a little bit too
I
look
don't really
at me,
hate
look
Aaron
at
Rodgers.
me.
I don't like him.
But both of those guys, I cannot deny how good they are. And it's like one of those like, damn it, man, they're so good.
Yeah.
Both of them are so good.
And he's on a team where he belongs too. Like it works. So it's going to be very interesting how that plays out. I assume that they'll be in it to win it all. We're live here at Hooters, $3 Bud Light drafts, getting ready for the Sweet 16 night 2, $5 Wandering Haze Pines, and Goz, who's drinking IPAs, so you might be able to drive him home tonight. Might be able to take him home.
Who might come and give me a ride? What about our guy Tom over at Johnstone Supply?
He actually might.
He actually might. 6th Avenue in Troy. Checking out the spring is officially here. How good is that to say? You actually see the snow go away. Some of you, we're not going to judge you. You might have been putting off your furnace, your boiler situation in your home. Don't do that anymore.
Don't do it.
2% off
You need
right
a good
now.
man. You need a good man to do your furnace.
A John Goodman. Hang on.
Yeah, buddy, there it
I
is.
nailed it. John Goodman Furnace is 2% off right now. Wherever you're listening across upstate New York and more, call the number 518-272-5922. 518-272-5922. That's Johnstone Supply in Troy. It's been helping people here in the capital region for decades. They're going to make sure your HVAC needs are taken care of. They want to help you.
You say HVAC. A lot of people say HVAC. Yeah. A lot of
I
people
feel like
say
it's
HVAC.
like a rap trend, like Maybach music. HVAC
No,
music.
like as Levack, you get to say. I give you permission to say HVAC.
All right, HVAC.
Yeah.
Tom's
they call
listening
it.
right now and be like, these two.
No, that's what the cool kids call it.
Cool
HVAC.
kids call it
There's
that?
no
All right.
way. There's no way in God's green earth that McGrath has said HVAC.
No?
Since no, it's
Okay.
HVAC.
6th Avenue, Troy, 518-272-5922. Oh, by the way, if you're getting ready for those spring projects around your home, Milwaukee Tools, get them there.
Ooh.
Best prices guaranteed. 6th Avenue, Troy, Johnstone Supply in Troy. Check them out on Facebook. Johnstone Supply, NY. Shout out to George, Tom, Kev, James, everybody over there. Love the crew at Johnstone Supply in Troy. He was texting you about the Titans and all the NFL moves.
I started it because the Raiders took one of their players.
Oh, that's right. You did start it.
But we actually found common ground finally on the Titans. Because I don't hate the Titans. I hate Ryan Turdahill. Ryan Turdahill is a terrible human being. and he hates him now too. So now we're on the same page. At least he does for now. We're getting to see Cam.
Hey,
It's
what's
Cam
up,
in the
Cam?
house.
Good seeing you, man.
He is here, ready to go. Justin Morris is here. Justin's buying his own stuff over there, guys. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. Yeah.
I just gave him the sign. It's on me.
Yeah. He said, "Here's
Make
my."
sure they take care of you over there.
Yeah.
All right.
I got some of mine. I got some of yours.
Oh, okay.
All right, make sure they know who you are because we got you. You're covered. You're covered. He also is the best printer guy in the area.
Okay, a little
Hands
live
down,
read
hands
for him.
down.
There you go.
Empire printer extraordinaire.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, we need him more than they need us. They mean that's.
IT talk around here.
Oh man. All right, but don't. Yeah, make sure Goz pays for everything.
Yes, and also Ryan McCarthy.
He agreed.
was
You saw
somewhere
that.
over
I don't
there.
have to pay for anything. Goz agreed. All right. On Goz's dime. I like it. Let's go. Let's go.
No credentials required.
We're
Something's happening
getting
over there.
things done, folks, here at Hooters Albany.
Yeah, and by getting done, make sure Uber's ready. All right.
Any NAL news before we hit the weekend?
NAL news?
I like digging at you to get some stuff out of you before we came. Especially Cam right here, a big Empire fan.
Today was a big day. We got a lot of things done. There's a lot of deals in the works. They're not 100% finished as of right now, but I can tell you who's running game day ops now. It's official.
Ooh.
Game day ops. Caroline Perry,
Hey.
who
all
we were
right.
very proud to have her. I worked with her over at UAlbany doing the on-field extravaganza over there for the football team, and she's currently running game day ops for the Albany Firewolves. And then when she's intermixed, she's going to help us, and then she's going to take over all the Empire stuff once she's done with the Firewolves in UAlbany.
Shout out to her. Can't wait to work for her. I heard some awesome things you were telling me about her.
She's great. She's phenomenal. I told her the first game we ever worked together at UAlbany. It's a brand new crew. Yes, I'll have another one.
Okay, would you like another two?
Yeah, I think I will.
Why is he saying it like that? He knows he wants it.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
you think, oh my God, I can't believe you
Oh,
offered me a
no,
beer.
beer.
Oh, like, push him off his stool. Do it. You won't
Don't
do
do that, please.
Do it,
Very
yeah.
strong.
But like I told her the first game, so we're all sitting there. It's this new group of people, and Griff, who runs everything at UAlbany, comes over and he goes, all right, everybody, we're going to have a great game today. He goes, by the way, Levack, is everybody else's first game. Make sure they know what's going on. And he runs away. I'm like, you mother effer. Like, I wish you had told me that. But, like, she was great. She was great from day one. And I told her, I was like, one day you're going to run game day ops for me over at the Empire. And then we hired her. So it's happening. So very happy to have her. She's awesome. The Empire experience is going to be that much better because she's part of the team.
I don't want to have you, as her boss, call her out right now, but that is one of the tougher jobs in sports. I think you and I got to see that as on-field hosts. Like, game day ops, man, like, you don't really get to enjoy the game. That is wall-to-wall. You're kind of first person in, last person out, making sure everything flies. I'm glad you've got her because that is, especially with the NAL, one of the most important jobs to have for your franchise.
Well, with the MVP arena. I mean, people don't come there thinking it's just going to be a football game. I mean, obviously that's the most important part, but you got to make sure you're having a good time. So, and she's going to make sure that happens. The beauty of having her around is in the middle of the interview when we're deciding to hire her, Mike Corda, owner of the team. I'm like, yeah, I might do on field. You're doing on field. So I'm back as on field.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't think I was doing it this year, but I'm back as on field too.
Greg Popovich in the late. Why am I forgetting his name now? The late, oh my God, Craig Sager. Thank you.
Yeah.
The late Craig Sager.
I love when you thank yourself for remembering something.
Cam said it. I heard him.
Toots McGee, guys, don't be ashamed. Take that beer. What are you guys drinking today? Anyway, you are drinking the Wandering Haze at $5. It's $3 pints of Bud Light. I'm just going big dogs because I don't want to. Kennedy's beautiful. I love having her around, but I want to share her with everyone because she's a ray of sunshine. So.
I have a question for you involving the Empire. I think you can answer. As much as I'm excited about the game day ops news, you seem a little frustrated, I think, in two ways for something that's happened this past week. You did
Toots McGee said, congrats, Levack.
Nice. You did an interview with Inside the Walls podcast and an NAL
You were
podcast.
there?
I know I was there. But you were frustrated by how it sounded.
My sound was bad, and you didn't tell me. My sound was bad, and you... my best good friend didn't even say nothing to me. I remember because I had trouble with it in the very beginning, and I got everything working, and not just you, Zach and Jim from Inside the Walls are on my shit list too. By the way, I'm full swearing now, Cam. Don't try to stop me. Because I go, how does it sound? Everybody's like, oh, great. I go, okay, so it's good. Yeah, it's fantastic. And we talked for about 5 minutes before we even started taping the podcast, and no one told me I sounded like ass warmed up. It was like hot trash.
I thought it might have sounded better on their side because my Wi-Fi was a little choppy.
Your Wi-Fi is terrible.
Right, so I wasn't going to
But I'm picking on your Wi-Fi, too, and I sound like... and then you're over here like, I think it's going to be a season.
I have a theory, and maybe you are going to be... I don't know if you're going to tell me the truth on this. I think you might, though.
Okay.
I told you going into this interview because you are the president of the Albany Empire, and you are going on a show that focuses on the NAL in the preseason. As someone who does a podcast, who's the non-traditional media
very
format,
professional, right?
Some people look at that stuff and say, we're going to do what's called aggregate him. For those who don't know what that means they're going to take Levack's quote out of context and make a 2-minute cut like, did you hear what the president of the Empire said about this? And just throw the clip up for views, which I'm not saying Jim and Zach would have done that, but a lot of podcasts do, and that's fine. Like, I'm not going to hate on that hustle. Like, you got to get your attention out there. You got
only people who do stuff that are like that around here, right, for the newspaper, right, Mark?
So you're willing
Kennedy.
You are willing to confess you did not do the sound dive intentional to not do aggregation. Okay.
It was, you know what it is? Because I use the exact same setup I use when we do the remote locations, but I used a different computer. So not exact same, but everything like the headset, the wiring, where I was plugged into the internet, all that. But I used a different computer, so I think it was the computer that effed it up. But no, because here's the thing about Jim and Zach, or Zach and Jim, however it works for Inside the Walls. They're genuinely good dudes, and they love the game of indoor football. They love arena football. So I think they know that I love arena football, and that all I really want out of the Albany Empire is to win championships and have a great time. So I trust those guys as much as I trust anyone. There was a moment where they totally tried to like take something I said and didn't get it the right way, and Goz caught it. It's early on. Well, I just said, like, hey, my job is to make sure checks clear. Like, because I'm the one who writes the checks. But, like, it's
they're like, whoa, is something going on over there?
Right.
Guys, no,
right.
no,
and I didn't catch it at all. Guys was like, let me explain to you, gentlemen. And I'm like sitting there going, oh, crap. Yeah, no, because the only reason I said it is, like, we have multiple accounts. where we write things out of. Like there's the entertainment company, there's the football company, and we're streamlining it this year because now we've learned a lot. But if you pay the wrong thing out of the wrong account, it clears, but it causes a nightmare with our accountant. And guess who kicks out of me if that happens? So that's why I said it.
And that was the first time you actually guys ever talked. That's an expression you've used for sports talk segments before about GM.
I use it in my life.
Right. Like they didn't know you, so they didn't know that was an expression you've used.
I didn't even see it. Like literally, like I went back and watched it. If you haven't seen it, it's good. They're, like you said, they're good guys. Jim, Jacksonville fan. Nobody's perfect. When I said it, I didn't catch it. Goz caught it. Zach starts taking notes. And I'm like, you
mark the video, get that clip up.
You SOB. Yeah. Yeah, Matt Bob. This is Matt Bob. Empire bouncing checks. News at 11. No.
Pete Doherty's out of retirement. I got him finally.
I can guarantee you every check I've written clears. I just don't write them. No, it's all good. Like Mike Korda is in charge, man. Mike Korda does. He is one of the best businessmen I've ever worked with. He's a jackass, and I hate him because I love him. He's my brother. But, like, he is, when it comes to business, like, the thing I hate about him, and you know this, guys, I don't like to admit people know more about anything than I do. But he'll be like, hey, let me teach you something. And I'm like, what you going to teach me? I know I'm 45. I'm a grown damn man. And he'll say something. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, yeah, that's pretty smart. That's yeah.
This week feels different, doesn't it?
Hold on, Toots in the house. Toots McGee. There are Jacksonville fans, the Sharks, not the Jags. The Sharks, not the Jags.
He also was offended. You called him a Jag fan. Remember that? Like, oh no, I'm not.
Well, I was like, well, you guys have the Jags because, like, the beautiful thing about the Empire is we're the professional sports, that we have around here. Us, the Valley Cats, Thunder up north, Firewolves now. But, like, you got to, in our season, you don't have a ton of options. It's us, the Track, and the Valley Cats. That's it. Where them, it's like, they've got so much other stuff going. It's Florida. But it is Jacksonville. It's not really nice. Yeah. I love Bat Bob. Empire bouncing checks. News at 11. That was totally what they were going to do. That was totally.
Of course it was.
And I went in all trusting, like Babe in the Woods, like, sure, witch, I'll eat this apple.
It feels different this week for the Empire because April is approaching, right? Like, it feels
so close.
Like I'm excited.
29 days.
I was telling you before we went live today, Andrew Santillo and I, the other voice of the Empire, are part of the broadcast team. We were texting each other today, like,
never heard of him.
He was texting you about how excited he's getting, man. He's fired up for this season.
Happy to have him. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
You know who loves the Empire as well? Cindy Martin.
Oh my God, you talk about loving. Like, honestly, I was talking to her about advertising with us, and like, I love Cindy Martin. I'm not the kind of person to go like to any of my friends and say you should spend money, but my goal was anybody who knows, right? Cindy Martin, who's part of the Jen Karam team over at Howard Hanna Realty, Cynthia Martin at howardhanna.com. She's at every game, and she's like end zone, goal line. I was like, I will kick people out of that dasher board. You need that dasher board. Because can you imagine if it's her going in her Empire jersey and underneath it is like Cynthia Martin, Howard Hanna, give me a call, 518-932-5558. Like, I was like, I need this. I'll help pay for the dasher.
What's that called? The boss move, right? Where you have the face above you, like I am this. Like, that's awesome.
I thought about it on my drive home the other day, and I'm like, Cindy, do it. She's like, she's considering it. But how cool would that be? But like all of her, like in all sincerity, like all she really, really focused on is taking care of people, making sure everything's right. In sports, she's gonna be at the Firewolves game with us all and all that good stuff. But I was just like, that would be the coolest thing. But I'm also realizing that I'm gonna get my bathroom redone soon and everything else. And the coolest thing could be having Cindy Martin sell my damn house, and then I don't have to worry about that thing anymore. But whatever you're doing, locally, globally, she'll work with you. She's got the greatest team of local attorneys, inspectors, everything. If you are selling or buying a home, you need to have someone you trust navigate those waters with you. There's something about just that amount of money, and not just the money, that's where you're going to live, or that's where you did live, and you want somebody to buy it who's going to, who it's going to make sense. It's all going to work out. You want to get your worth out of it. That's where Cindy comes in. She's amazing. Cynthia Martin at howardhanna.com, 518-932-5558. That's her cell phone, 518-932-5558. When you're one of her people, she's going to take great care of you. Cindy Martin, realtor to the stars, and me. But again, if I can, I was like, dude, I'll help pay for it. I will help pay for it. Just to have like Cindy going, let's go Empire. Underneath it's her all professional. Like, need me to sell your house?
I'd love to see that. It's
If
still
you-
what I would happen.
By the way, if you'd like to buy a Dasher board or advertise with the Albany Empire, talk to our head of strategic partnering, Ryan Hewlett, at 518-714-2200.
518-714
2200.
2200.
Cindy, call him. Cindy, I'll help pay for it. Cindy Martin, call him. And then Ryan's an up and comer. He'll need a house soon. He'll buy a house from you. Everybody, symbiotic. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy.
I know we got to get to the tonight preview of the Sweet 16 action. Q&A to end the day. We got a lot of cool comments. I know we've gone over. Oh,
Matt Bopp is now just doing like evil headlines. Empire president talks with real estate agent. Empire on the move. Levack house on the market. Are the Empire next? You would need dynamite and a crowbar to get the Empire away from Mike Porta. That's all I'm saying.
Matt Bob's laughing away.
He's having a great time. Like I want that in my regular life. Like you just randomly like you're wrong. Levack buying bananas at Price Chopper. Does he hate Hannaford?
Mark Singlace and Michael Kelly are like, who is this Matt Bob?
Why is he so good at doing what we do?
I want to get to the Sweet
Singlace
16.
is like, I could come up with those headlines.
so easy. I could break through. And also,
He'll do a 2-page spread on me selling my freaking house and what it means for Capital Region Sports.
and Q&A to end the day. But real quick on this, I don't want to sit on this for like longer than 2 minutes because I don't like the
What are you
story.
sitting on? Is it pointy?
Deshaun Watson, would you have even run a press conference today? Would you have just been like, nah, I'll
you
catch
had
you in
to.
the summer.
You-
Like, we're not doing this
You
today.
had to. Cleveland welcomes Deshaun Watson. I will say, there was some obvious issues with the press conference. Like, you had to do it. It's almost like one of those debriefings where you go like, all right, listen, you got to sit down. You got to let them talk to you, whatever. Andrew Berry drew the short straw, the GM. Where were the Haslams? Where were the owners of the team? Like, I just imagine it where they were like, all right, Andrew, good job. You're going to go out there. It's going to be a great time. You and our new star quarterback. Here's your blindfold. Here's your cigarette. The firing line is – the interviewers are right out there.
Sure.
Like,
We'll do a Zoom with them later, and we'll just pick who we want to put in the Zoom call. That's what we
you'll
decided
never
to
see
do.
them. You'll never – that's the coward part of it all. Watson knows he has to sit in front of him. And my firm belief, and I could be proved wrong at some point, Deshaun Watson is a creep, not a criminal. He watched way too much porn and thought that every masseuse that he talked to online was going to give him a happy ending. That's what he thought. That's what he was hoping for. And after the first 20 plus that didn't do it, he kept looking. He's dedicated to what he wants. So Cleveland, Super Bowl on the way. But he's a dirtbag. He's gross. Like I wouldn't. Like I have friends who are licensed masseurs,
Massiasis.
what's ups. I would never let them like answer a call from him. But at the same time, like he's just gross. He's not a criminal, but like still, he had to sit out there in that brown suit. Oh, it's terrible.
The whole thing is bad, but if you told me, how do you think the Deshaun Watson opening press conference will go? Bad. And you know, every reporter, like we just did with our pal Matt Bob,
Right.
they're like, oh, baby.
Right.
This is like sharks right now, man. This is going to be my day. I'm going to get Watson. I'm going to get him. And as well, look, you don't want to almost like, oh, you did a great job of handling those horrible things that happened to you. Like, it's weird to say someone handled it well because no one wants to root for someone who's been accused of these things. But
Right.
it could have been worse. It could have been better.
Yeah.
And now it's probably not going to be talked about until July or August when he hits training camp, when the media floods it again and checks out Watson, and there's probably going to be protesters and everything. So this
Right.
is probably going to be the best it's going to be until July.
Honestly, they shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't even have done the press conference.
Oh, you think no to the press conference?
Well, because all right, the reason you do this press conference is to stop the questions, right? That's the only reason you do it. Or at least to begin the end. You rip the band out. Was it Stefanski's out there too? Whatever the hell his name is. You go out there and you say nothing. Like if and my favorite lie of the whole thing was they asked, paraphrasing, they asked Deshaun Watson like, oh, did the contract, what about the contract made you decide to accept Cleveland, the trade to Cleveland or something like that? And he's like, no, I accepted before I even knew what the contract was. And they waited and they went, why'd you say no then? Oh, well, social media. I never really said no. I never really
just own it. Hey, guys,
right,
they gave me $230 million. That's it. The end.
And they
$230 million.
go to Barry, like, should the NFL change the rules since you were able to use this contract and not have him pay a huge fine? And he's like, that's a question for the NFL, which obviously layup answer. But like, you don't do this press conference this way. You either make it extremely awkward, uncomfortable, get deep into it, answer every question so that every one of your players isn't asked the same questions, or you don't do it and you know it's coming.
I'm fine with them doing the press conference because you kind of get it out of the way, because what could have
happened, but what did they get out of the way?
But here's what could have happened, right? Let's say they go to July and it's training camp and Watson's on an island by himself. Like, he's got no coach, he's got no owners, he's got no GM. They just kind of bum rush him and be like, 50 reporters are just killing Watson after a practice verbally with every question in the book. They think it maybe took it back a little bit. However, and this is a weird part about it, as much as I was just kind of mocking the reporters were on their A game. Like, they're
most
going
of them,
at him.
most of them, yeah.
They're going at him saying, like, do you think Deshaun Watson's innocent or not guilty? And everyone's like, man, we're getting crushed right now. Like, we're getting buried. And the reporters stepped up and did it. But I feel as if by the time July rolls around, we're not going to get this every single week. We could have gotten that. Like, I think about the Bills press conference when that whole thing happened with Doug Whaley, where they fired Rex Ryan, and Whaley gets up there on an island. He's like, I don't know. I don't make those calls. They're like, you're the GM. What? And then he was fired like 2 months later.
Toots McGee, a lot of people aren't technically criminals, but that doesn't make him, quote, just a creep. 22 women are saying he sexually assaulted them. That doesn't come from nowhere. Okay, so Toots, let me just explain why I say just a creep versus, and when I say just a creep, I'm speaking about the fact that if you're not going to jail, you get to go make a living, especially if you have a skill set that someone's willing to pay you for. When I say just a creep, trust me when I tell you that dude would never be around me or anyone I care about. Okay, that's number one. The 22 women out of nowhere, we've now had multiple district attorneys say there's not enough there for me to press charges, and there's at least enough smoke behind the theory that Houston kind of trumped this up a little bit to get him to screw him over because he was screwing them over. I'm not saying that's real. I'm just saying there's enough where I can say I can believe a little bit that this is the kind of dude who lays down on a massage table and goes, oops, the towel fell. See anything you like, ladies? And then when they go, no, get the F out of here, he leaves. Gross, creep, not criminal, right? There's also 22 of these women in the exact same area who none of them told each other, like, this guy's a freaking scumbag. That's also possible. I'm just saying, don't think I'm trying to be like some kind of pig-headed man. I'll let you know when I'm doing that. This is me saying there's not enough for me to ruin this guy's life. There's not enough for me to say this guy's not entitled to have a chance to play football when somebody wants to pay him $230 million. My biggest problem with today was you didn't do anything. You just gave us more reasons to make fun of you, more reasons to hate you, and more reasons to go, well, look, Cleveland being Cleveland. That's what you did.
Let's do something fun. March Madness, Sweet 16.
No, we're not done.
It's not over.
Toots and I aren't done yet.
Oh, Toots.
The reason there isn't enough is because victims of sexual assault aren't considered credible witnesses because this country's legal system is terrible. Toots, disagree. I disagree with that. The situation that we're dealing with right here, and I cannot paint it with the same brush that you would every single sexual assault trial. That's not fair to anyone involved. Is 22 women came forward, maybe more, I don't know, and did so in such a way where they did not provide enough evidence, didn't do it in a timely fashion, seemed more interested in the civil suit than the criminal charges, were all brought forward by one attorney who is questionable at best. Does that make it right? I'm not saying it does. If any of these women have been assaulted in some way by Deshaun Watson, and I haven't actually seen a description, and you can tell me if you have, where he physically did whatever. Okay, I don't see that. Again, I equate this to the scumbag who rushes against a girl's butt in a bar. Deserves a punch in the mouth. Is he going to spend a night in jail? Probably not. That's again, when it comes to sexual assault, I'm all about Hammurabi's code. I'm all about the golden rule. I think you should lock them in a room with somebody who's going to do the exact same thing to them. That's what I think. That's who I am. Okay. For anybody, I'm not defending Sean Watson on that level. I think he's a creep. I think he's a scumbag. I use the word creep very, very volubly. Like, I'm not the kind of person who goes, "Oh, he's just a creep." I'm the kind of guy who goes, "That guy's a creep. I don't want him around me. I don't want him around anybody I care about." We have to remember I don't want to do whataboutism. Mike Vick committed caninicide, and got to play again. Like, there's people who have jobs every day in this world who did way worse than if you believe everything Watson's been accused of. They get to go back to work. He gets to go back to work. You don't have to root for the Browns. I don't know anyone who does. Well, I know one person who does.
Right, and if you don't want to root for the Browns again, you don't want to root for Watson again, we're not going to judge you on that. It's your personal decision.
Right.
You can do what you want on that, right?
But trust me when I tell you that I take sexual assault extremely seriously. I think this guy is a guy who's watched too much porn and is gross. That's who I think he is. I don't know that he's actually a sexual predator. I don't know that. So I got to let it go. Innocent until proven guilty is an amazing, amazing way to live life, because people spend less time in jail than they should. But sometimes it just innocent until proven guilty is the right way to go. I want to defend. I defend this country. I do. I'm sorry. I like a lot of things with it. But Toots, I love you. Toots McGee, you're the best.
I think it was a very solid conversation,
Yes.
You and Toots McGee.
Even though
I think it's Jim, by the way. I think, can we call him Jim? Because it felt weird there, you arguing sexual assault with Toots McGee. We'll call him Jim for the sake of that conversation.
Right.
I think it's Jim.
Toots is going to keep going, but I think Toots.
Let's move on to this.
I'll tell you what, Toots, $3 Bud Lights. Come by Hoots and Toots with beers.
Good.
We'll finish the conversation after the podcast, because you and I could do this all night.
Yeah, we'll get into the Sweet 16 coverage. We're going to Q&A to end the day. But first, we're going to tell our friends about Mohawk Honda. I just got an awesome DM before we got into the show. Hey, guys, I want to get a new vehicle. I'm thinking about buying it for my daughter. Who should I talk to at Mohawk Honda?
Oh.
I feel so great when I get those messages. And I know you do as well, Levack, where people are listening to the podcast. People are finding out about Mohawk Honda from us. People that you can trust during the car buying experience. I hear the horror stories, and I know you have as well, about this guy gave me a terrible price, or she told me this, that, and the other thing. You don't have to worry about that at Mohawk Honda. From the great people like Greg Johnson right now doing the athletic drive, where you bring in some of your, whether it be a baseball bat, a ball, a glove, whatever it might be, to help out here in the Capital District, bring it into Mohawk Honda or Mohawk Chevy. This month is March to help them out and everything else. Plus, Cam McKenna, Brian McKenna, MJ, Travis Landry. We can run through the list. Lindsay Harridan, just
the Hondiva herself.
Right. Look at the bracket of the Plate Change Challenge. I hope we get, by the way, asked to do the finals again. I got asked to do like the semis at Honda. It was so much fun. Shout out to Nick and Nate. Great people.
No, you know what, Nick? Why don't you give me a couple days' notice, Nick?
Yeah.
Nick's like, hey, I know you're not doing anything besides running a football team and media for the best fire and water restoration company in the area at Tech East. Show up tomorrow at noon. What?
You're lucky my dad was in another movie, or else I would have said no. He was in town filming. Mohawk Honda, again, if you're looking for a vehicle the weekend, whenever you're listening to this, stop over, get a new ride. 2022 Pilot EXL. There's a chance it's going to sit in the Hooters parking lot again for the second consecutive weekend.
It was here for a while.
Mohawk Honda.
I feel like you didn't even drive here today.
Really?
I think you rode on the back of Cam's bike.
No, it's here.
Cam rode you over here.
Might be until April I get that car back.
One way to keep your miles down. I mean,
right.
it's not the worst thing you've ever done. All right, let's get into some hoops tonight. Sweet 16 continues. $3 Bud Light drafts, $5 Wandering Haze pints right here at Hooters. And of course, you're checking us out hopefully live on the Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page. You're listening to us wherever you get your podcast. I like to listen to mine. I follow Instacam. He drives his bike around with a boombox on his shoulder, and he just plays our podcast. That's all he does.
Cam.
So anywhere you see Cam riding around, you'll hear Levack and Goz. It's constant. It's only his favorite episodes, though. So you're hearing like 2 episodes, and it's only when we mention him. He edits together every time we mention him. What's that?
That's
all right. There it is. See, he loves us. He's our guy.
Update on our
we talk about him.
Update on our challenge.
Okay.
If Purdue loses
does it
to St. Peter's and Kansas wins,
I don't like.
I win.
Okay.
If Purdue wins and Kansas loses to Providence tonight,
okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ghazi Bear over.
I think we're all rooting for that.
Basically, to sum it up a little bit better, if Purdue advances further than Kansas,
okay,
Levack will win the bracket challenge.
Carry on, my wayward son, Purdue.
if Kansas advances further than Purdue, I will win. Simple and easy.
All
That's
right.
the best way to sum it up. And they both play tonight.
So Purdue needs to Purdue it.
But
All
Purdue
right.
gets the first game right when we sign off here, as we are live. They get the St. Peter's Peacocks, one of the true great Cinderella stories in March Madness history. Shout out to our old intern, Kevin Sweeney, who had a great article about them on Sports Illustrated. Check him out. Awesome article by our guy.
What a nerd that Kevin Sweeney is.
You said St. Peter's going to get killed.
They're going to get smashed.
I'm 100% with you on this. Bad
absolutely
matchup
smashed.
tonight for them.
Absolutely smashed. I know this is what Toots was referencing, but Toots smash. Yeah, and so does Purdue. Our boy Trav. What's up, bros? Go Nova. Speaking of bad things from Philadelphia.
They did. By the way, Trav and Rigney show. I have a feeling within the next 48 hours, we're going to get a call from the WWE. Their recent podcasts. Can you name this WWE theme song? I did text them. I'm like, guys, there's a really good chance this is getting taken down because they just played the music during the podcast with no copyright.
What if they did it? What if they like hummed it?
No, if they hummed it, that is so funny. I didn't listen to it, guys. I just assumed you played the song. If you hummed it, that is hilarious. I don't think you would get copyright.
TikTok gets away with a lot of it. You can put TikTok on, I believe, and then we can do it that way. Jim from Inside the Walls, never trust a Big Ten team. I need Purdue, Jim. Okay? All right, Jim? It's bad enough you let me go on your damn show and sound like crap. You got to root for Purdue with me. That's what I need.
Here's what's happening in the Purdue game tonight. If you want to bet on St. Peter's, great. Cinderella, if you don't watch the game.
I'll tell you what. You want to bet on St. Peter's, come hand me $10. I'll kick you in the ding-dong. You go about your business.
Go buy Justin a drink and some wings instead.
Yeah, Justin Morris.
That's right.
Winner of the Levack and Goz Very Bowly Challenge here at Hoots.
Here's what's going to happen. Purdue's going to come down the floor in the opening possession. They're going to lob it to the 7'4" kid. He's going to dunk it. Then they're going to block St. Peter's a shot. They're going to go down the court again, lob it to the 7'4" kid. He's going to score again.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's
going to score. It's going to.
I think it's going to be close for like 8 to 10 minutes. St. Peter's is good enough to play with the power teams for 8 to 10 minutes. Then it's going to get out of hand. So I think it's going to be like a 4-5 point game with 10 minutes left in the first half. And then poop storm. And it's National Peacock Day, no less.
That's true. That's right.
It is. What up, Dalton?
I'm rooting for St. Peter's. I hope it's close.
You out of here? Whatever, man. Lose
Ryan McCarthy.
Wow, you never wear an Empire hat, Dick.
I'm wearing an Empire sweatshirt.
Providence.
You make that yourself?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Providence and Kansas is after that.
Yeah, it's the AFL Empire.
That's right.
What about the NAL Empire? What about this one?
Look ahead, man.
Hook you up. How dare
What's
you?
up, man?
Enjoy your $100 million.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. Good. See, I'm on the air right now. I gotta.
You put me on here.
All right,
Oh.
put you on the air.
Well,
okay. Good seeing you, man. Nice meeting you. All right, well,
eventually.
Kansas and Providence is a 7:30 game. They got five.
Around here.
Somebody
Can we
named
sign
Ryan.
off?
I think it was closer.
Oh.
Kansas, by the way, has 5 super
Definitely.
seniors. Miami has a few super seniors, and Providence has 4 in their
What are
starting
their
lineup.
powers?
I know, right? The 6th-year COVID guys.
What would be your superpower if you have one?
If I had one,
Yeah,
I feel like flying's too cliche.
it's very cliche.
Is invisible better? I think invisible a little bit
I
better.
go mind control.
Really?
Mind control. Because I can, hey, guys, I'm invisible. Now you think I'm invisible. It doesn't matter what I do next.
Ooh, that's deep, right?
Right? Hey, TSA, I want to fly today. I walk into the plane. Mind control. Do whatever you want. You win all the games with mind control.
I just feel like I'm losing a bet. Mind control the guys. I need
Yeah.
3.5 right now, boys. Mind control. Miss this
No,
free throw.
you walk up to the window and go, wow, what a great winning ticket. Doesn't it look like I won $5 million? And then mind control. You win. Yeah.
I hope Kansas has that tonight. I hope Bill Self gets in
Nah.
somebody's mind. Look at
Providence.
Cooley.
Providence,
I need you.
baby. Let's go. I'm pro on Providence.
That's going to be a really good game. UCLA, North Carolina could be the best game of the night. UCLA.
I like UCLA in that one.
Yeah, and Carolina has been red hot. They're averaging over 95 points a game the last 2 games, but UCLA is just better talent-wise, which is a wild statement to say out loud about the Tar Heels. Are they really still in the tournament game?
I'm guaranteed to have a double-digit team advance into the Elite Eight.
Iowa State, who won 2 games last season, versus Miami, who's led by Jim Larinaga, former George Mason fame. And Miami stunk in the ACC. The ACC as a conference was terrible this year, but Miami.
Especially that Syracuse crap, right? Am I right?
Speaking about them, yeah, Syracuse had an 18 and a 16-point lead and a 9-point lead with a minute to go and lost twice to Miami in those games.
I like Miami tonight. I do. So here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm betting.
Sarah.
I'm not touching Purdue, St. Peter's. Spread's a little too big. Not touching that one. However, I'm going to take Providence with the points. I'm going to take UCLA to win outright, and I'm going to take Miami.
I'll go backwards to front. I would take Miami as well.
That's not a good way to wipe.
I would take Miami as well with the points. I would take the over in Carolina UCLA because both teams can score a bunch of points. I would take the over in that game. I would take Providence to cover, but Kansas money line. I think Kansas will win, but Providence will cover. And I would take Purdue to cover, and I hate that game. I would not bet it as well because my heart is going to be rooting for St. Peter's.
Toots is willing to pay more than $10 to get kicked in the ding dong by me. Wants to know if this is a sale. You know, for Toots, I'll kick you in the ding dong for free, Toots. For free.
I still want to know what happened with that guy who came over.
I recognize him from somewhere. I can't remember where yet.
Brian? Is it closer?
Yeah,
or is it
who knows?
Ryan McCarthy.
UNC versus Duke, Final Four. Book it. And then Jim from Inside the Walls attempting to use mind control. These are not the beers you're looking for, Levack. Well, then I'll just keep drinking until I find the ones I'm looking for, Jim.
Before we get to some more Q&A, end of the day, Lily and David Fine Jewelers
Oh, speaking of rings.
right up here. Man, I'm going to nail it once on during the show, right? Lily and David Fine Jewelers. How about this, guys? The weekend is here. Some of you are getting ready for
I don't
the
really
wedding.
like him.
Who?
The Weeknd.
Weekend? You don't like him as a singer?
He's
You
not
like
my
Lily
favorite.
and David Fine
I
Jewelers.
love Lily and David. I love
Alyssa,
Alyssa.
David, Jacob, the whole crew in there.
I actually think Lily and David has missed the boat on something they could do that would be amazing.
Ooh, I might take this for them.
They
All
were
right.
so Lily and David Fine Jewelers. They picked up right away on you loving fanny packs,
Yes.
bum bags. If you're in Australia, by the way, love that about them. I think no longer do they just teach you how to propose. If I ever get married again, I want Alyssa to propose for me.
What do you mean? Go on.
I mean, we go. I take the young lady out to dinner. It's a beautiful night. Everything's going perfect. About to pull the ring out. I do this. I do the little whip, 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 like, hey, whip. It's time. Look up here. It's time. And all of a sudden, Alyssa walks over and goes, listen, I helped pick out the perfect ring. Okay, this is the ring you've wanted. He's actually smart enough to ask me for the help. Will you just marry the guy already so I can go ahead and get you the buy one, get one wedding bands? This is what I do. I understand things. I'm a very forward woman. I'm very smart. I'm very intelligent. It's obvious. So can you just marry this stupid fat guy already? And then she like walks away and I'm on my own. She's like, dude, I'll tell you, there's not a better person to talk to. Like, she's straightforward. She's kind. And she knows her stuff. So, like, again, I don't ever want to propose again. Actually, I've never proposed, by the way. My ex-wife proposed to me.
I call that Topanga style.
Yeah, or Lisa, whatever. I don't think her name was Topanga. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. And but yeah, no, Alyssa just walks up to the table and explains to you why. Listen, we have something for everyone's budget. You really, as good as you are, ma'am, you can't afford much better than him. You know?
I'm just imagining now.
Wouldn't it be great?
Route 50, yes. Route 50, shops. Guys are going to walk in now and just beg Alyssa, please. Levack said you'll do the proposal for me.
Perfect.
Buy the ring. Just help me, Alyssa.
And Alyssa, this could work for you. Like, all of a sudden, like a destination proposal. Alyssa's hanging out in Hawaii, sipping a Mai Tai, relaxing. All of a sudden, ding, ding, ding. Oh, hey, I'll be right back. Can you hold this? She walks up to the table. He brought you to Hawaii. What did you think was going to happen here? Say yes already. Hey, you idiot, get on a knee. You know, put down the 5 pounds of barbecue pig you're eating for 2 seconds and tell this lovely woman what's happening.
Shops of Wilton.
She'd be the best.
Route 50. Do you need more? Lily and David
have
Fine
it.
Jewelers. Facebook. Check them out. Leave a message. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, be like, Alyssa, I just learned who you are. Please, anniversary, birthday, wedding. You are the best. I hope Alyssa's watching right now. Is she?
I miss you. Oh my God. So that was my favorite. Like everybody knows that we used to do a radio show together. You left slightly before I did. One of my favorite conversations was with her afterwards, though, because it was like, hey, we both love Goz, whatever. And she's like, and I'm like, look, I don't want to screw over Goz by working together, but I love working with you. But she's like, it was just a straightforward, awesome. She's just a straightforward, awesome person. That's all there is.
I want her to text me after and be like, I feel like within the next 2 to 3 weeks, when people listen to the March Madness show, if people are just rolling in, begging, like hanging on my leg like Rex, like, oh, Alyssa, I heard Levack and Hooters say you do
it's
it
like a
for
package.
me.
It's a package. You can go in there, you get the perfect engagement ring. She'll help you find that. And then the buy one get one is the next level, the wedding band special. and then the top notch, we'll call it
the Levack and Goz, did we say?
Okay, I was gonna say the L&D plus, but the LNG plus package is she actually does the proposal for you. She does it. She just explains why it's the right thing to do, and you're like sitting there going, and all of a sudden she looks over. The future missus looks over and goes, I wasn't gonna say yes, but she makes a lot of great points. And then you did it right, like because look. Can you imagine that? Like Goz is on the beach about to propose to Mrs. Goz. They're drunk, they're burping and farting and everything because that's they both told me this story. And all of a sudden, Alyssa comes over and goes, "Okay, first of all, strike a match. Like seriously. Second of all, listen, you guys are tragic, but you work for each other. Let's get this done."
Route 50, Shops of Wilton. Lily and David Feinschilders. Do you need any more? Thank you, Alyssa, and everybody
Thank
over
you.
there. Visit this weekend after that. Thank you, LaFac.
As a matter of fact, I can't go to Alyssa because I can't get married again.
Yes, you can. I thought we were talking about you text her getting married again or something about this.
Well, I don't even have a girlfriend.
I thought you were talking to Kennedy over here.
I wouldn't do that to that poor girl. She's got a lot to live for. She has too much. She has too much to live for.
Ready for Q&A to end the day?
Oh, all right. Let's do that then. Q&A to end the day. I'm gonna try and go in the order they appeared in.
I've got two quick ones.
By the way, we're live at Hooters. $3 Bud Light specials. We're gonna be watching hoops, having a blast. Justin Morris is here. Goz is paying for everything he wants.
That feels good when Levack just went like this and was scrolling a lot. Thank you for everybody who's been a part of the show today. That was a long scroll. Levack just had up that list.
Thank you. I've been working out.
Both Jesse McWilliam, who now left us in Albany, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, can't wait for my best friend. No, what did Jesse say? Hey, I want to get this right. This is the life.
You had because you put out a picture of our beers and said we're prepping.
Jesse wrote, "This is the life, Levack and Goz, talking sports with the best friend and drinking the beer at the same time." You quickly wrote back, "Where's my best friend? When is it getting here?
When does my best friend get here?"
ABC 10 sports director, Liana Bonavita. I'll be there soon.
Don't you tease me, Bonavita. You get over here.
Jesse said, "See you in 2 hours." Also,
don't you tease me, Jesse. Get over here.
Jack on Instagram
I like
said,
both of you better than Goz.
"This is heaven." All right, Jack, if it's heaven, where are you? Come on, stop by, Jack. I'd like to say hello.
All right, Tom Gross, our guy. 2 questions. I love getting greedy now, Tom.
Smart Tom. Get him in early.
Do you think the Dolphins are contenders in the AFC East with the Tyreek Hill trade? And along with the Albany Empire, of course, what 3 other teams do you see making the NAL playoffs this year? First answer is no. The Dolphins are not because Tua's not going to be able to throw the damn ball. I think the Dolphins are on their way. But let's see one caveat. Who's the quarterback? I don't think Tua's the guy.
I think it's a hard question right now, Tom, pre-draft. But right now, pre-draft, because of the Dolphins' collateral, I would say yes. I would say because there's an additional playoff team. They're going to go 8 this year. If I had to rank the Dolphins, they'd be team 8. I think they're behind a lot of teams in the AFC West. A few division winners, they'd be team 8. But if it's a 7-team playoff, they'd be no.
He's saying in the AFC East.
Yeah,
so Bills are 1.
I'd say Miami would be 2.
I think Patrick too. Patrick's better coached.
Better coach for sure. I would say
the system's been in place longer.
Miami has gotten better this offseason than New England. If Miami finishes like they did in this past
which
season.
Bama quarterback would you rather have? Tua or Jones?
I'd take Mac Jones.
Yeah,
I would take Mac Jones. Okay.
So I got better coach, better quarterback.
It's a good way to pick a team. Yeah.
And Jets, we'll see. The second question: other 3 teams in the NAL playoffs. Columbus is there every year. All right, you go first.
Again, spot question here. I would say Albany, Columbus, Jacksonville, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to do this in broadcast. I would say San Antonio because it's hard to coach early in the season against a roster you might not know about. I would say San Antonio. I'm allowed to change that or not talk about it as a broadcaster 2 weeks from now. San Antonio is very hard to predict right now. So I feel as if San Antonio would be in the mix of the season. Here comes the hate from
Cam,
Orlando.
who do you got? Who's in the playoffs in the NAL? Empire?
All right.
Who?
Jacksonville.
Oh, so for the final. Jacksonville is really good. Carolina's really good. Columbus is really good. Orlando, I love Orlando, brand new coach. I think that could hold them back a little bit. San Antonio, brand new. So I'd leave out San Antonio, and then because Casey, the GM in Orlando, in my opinion, knows me drinks, I'll leave out Orlando until he pays me my drinks. That's what I'll do. That's what it is. All right, you got more. I'll keep going too.
Keep rolling with yours. I was going to grab
All
one.
right, how about just this isn't really a question, but it starts and then it goes into a question. Corey from Greenwich. Hi guys, from Algonquin, Kennebunkport, Maine. Can Duke win it all? Yes, Corey. Don't. That's it. There's no. You don't get. That's not.
Yes, they can win.
Not great.
Did you get one from Chris about the Bills Jets question me off?
He just said he said. All right, he answered a question. Who would be more ticked off if Brady went to the Dolphins? We said Jets. He said Bills. And then he said respectfully, scram, Tommy boy. All right, and this is where it starts getting a little crazy because this is where Matt Bopp and Toots start coming at me. So let me scroll down a little bit further, get you some more questions here. Q&A to end the day live from Hooters. Right here, we got $3 Bud Light drafts and $5 pints of the Wandering Haze.
While you're scrolling, I'm going to toss one out here from Jesse, who said, guys, do you think – this doesn't make any sense, but I'll ask it. Guys, do you think betting sites should let you bet timeout to timeout? So, for instance, there's a 16-minute timeout in basketball, 12-minute, 8-minute. Jesse, just place your bets. Okay, let's not get too
You can already do like first
there.
score, first one to 5, first one to 10, first one to 25. You might have a problem. What is it, 1-800-GAMBLER? I think you need to go. You need to get a hold of that. Toots, end of the day, ? Bummer. But we're just starting here at Hooters. We're going to hang out. You get the show live even longer. I'd love that Alyssa was listening. That makes me so happy. That I miss her very, very much.
I think it's about
Inside the Walls wants to know if the proposal that with Alyssa could be done live on our podcast here at Hooters. If I'm gonna answer for Alyssa on this one. Don't propose at Hooters. I love Hooters. You love Hooters. The wings are phenomenal. The people are great. It's not going to work out well if you propose at Hooters. It's not going to. Ladies, propose to your men at Hooters.
I know those are Albany Empire fans. I'll call them NAL fans. If you come and watch an Empire game and go to Route 50 and Lily and David because of this podcast, that would make us more happy than you can imagine. So please do that. Go get some food out in Saratoga, Wilton. Visit Alyssa at Lily and David Fine Jewelers, and then go watch the Albany Empire game. There's your day.
Get it all done. Get it all. Toots, you got another question for you. Also, do you think Zach Wilson is realistically a franchise quarterback? Yeah, I do. I think we have a chance of bringing him in and being the Empire's franchise quarterback after Mike Maples goes on.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I got one from Nick in Syracuse. A lot of Jets fans hopping on today. He goes, guys, I can't handle this right now. Please, Nick in Syracuse, please tell Levack I have some questions about the Jets. Glad I remembered this. Jets finally look good, Levack. All of a sudden, everyone's played Monopoly money, though. Seriously, $33 million for Von Miller? Come on, man. Yeah, I need Joe Douglas right now to make a full court press on DK Metcalf. Ask Levack, would a 4-year, would a 4th and a 10th, would a 4th overall and 10th overall pick, maybe the 38th, all for DK Metcalf makes sense. So he's asking,
not this year.
Give up 2 firsts and a 2nd for DK?
Not this year because there's so many good wide receivers in this year's draft. You could legitimately add your entire wide receiver core with those picks instead of having one guy. And I just haven't seen DK do enough.
Yeah, and look, DK Metcalf's really good. Here's what's going to with DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf's going to be a free agent next offseason. He can stay in Seattle, put up big numbers, maybe not wins, but statistically could have like a Josh Gordon season, get paid next year. And if you're the Jets, why not Tyler Lockett? Like, do you need DK Metcalf? Why not get Lockett with a less draft picks involved in the trade? I don't think it's a bad move.
By the way, Alyssa said she's in for the proposal, so that's I may have misread. I may have misread the room on that one. All right, one more question before we're done. Actually, 2 more questions. This is the last one though. If Albany hosts the NAL championship, this is Inside the Walls. Inside the Walls and Levack and Goz live stream on Friday night. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'd go back on that show anytime. Sure. You guys can come on our show too. I know Goz said no, but I said
I'll
yes.
even push it one step further. If Jacksonville plays Albany in the championship, either one of those guys or us, has to go to that city that day.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Because it'll be here and we're gonna win.
All right.
So I don't really mind. Last question. Cam, what'd you do to your wrist? Make it quick. We got a drink. Come over here. Come over here.
Tip off. Show the wrist.
Come over here. Make it quick. We got a drink. Don't take it off.
By the way. Careful. Easy.
What is it?
What happened? Oh,
you had wrist surgery? What were you doing? What's that? Okay. All right. Gotcha. He's got to wear it when he rides his bike. Is that code for anything? Up? No? Okay. No. All right.
Easy, Cam.
He just dropped an F-bomb?
Yeah, he did right before the show ended. There's kids watching, kid.
Yeah. Instacam
God.
says, fuck them kids.
Oh, my
All right. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Hoots. It's time to watch some hoops here at Hoots. Hoops at Hoops. Hoops at Hoots. And we would love if you guys came by. $3 Bud Light drafts, $5 pints of Wandering Haze. Thanks to Techies Fire and Water Restoration for paying my salary and allowing me to do this. Thanks to Godzilla Media's YouTube for keeping putting us on this. Everybody who interacted today, thank you so much. Thanks to Hooters, Boston Dan for ducking me because you're a loser.
Come on, Boston Dan. Let's see you tonight.
Stop hiding, you big puss. Let's go. I don't know. What did you? Oh, I'm sorry. Cam just said F you.
Advice,
wow.
Levack, to get out of here before tip off. What do you have? What's your advice to leave for the weekend?
Advice for the weekend. Advice for the weekend. Here you go. You ready? Are you ready? This is my advice for the weekend. Come drink at Hooters and watch basketball with us, and then watch Goz get poured into an Uber later.